Hello and welcome back to the Chattercade podcast, where Connor and I usually discuss media in the form of topic-based discussions or reviews. I'm your host, Dragon Thomas Hughes, and this is a solo one. I haven't had a chance to sit down with Connor. I barely had a chance to sit down and do this. This is literally the last thing I'm doing before I fucking pass out after work. So I thought, fuck it, rip the band-aid off, let's get this done. So today I'm going to be doing a solo review on the video game Control. So I said I would cover this after I spoke about the Alan Wake American Nightmare mini game thing that was. I said I'd talk about this once I finished it, and obviously I had my week off work, and within that week I just smashed through this game. I picked it up originally back in 2019 for, I think I had it quite cheap, to be fair. It was on sale over Christmas, when this year it first came out. And I remember, according to my save, I maybe did about an hour or two at push, and I just never got around to actually sitting down and playing it properly. And of course, we've been kind of playing the Alan Wake / just Remedy games in general. Obviously, this one came to discussion when I learned and he learned that there was a Alan Wake DLC, and we was like, okay, we're gonna just play this game, check this out before we get to Alan Wake 2. I've mentioned this before. Connor's done it. He's nowhere near finishing this game. So I just couldn't put it down. I had a lot of fun with this game. There's a lot of really good stuff within this more action-based game than horror. Yes, there's some enemies that are kind of horror-like, but this is more in line with, say, Remedy's Quantum Break game, which is more of a action shooter, which I don't mind. It's got the action shooter part, but it's also got the superpower part. Obviously, Quantum Break had the time powers, so you can create force fields with your time powers. You can sort of flash around, and that doesn't mean wacky cock out and go woo. Actually, super speed flash, and you can do a lot of stuff. Whereas this one, it's more telekinetic abilities essentially. So you can just pick up shit and throw it. You can fly around, and you can do a few other things. And as I say, all that leads to a pretty good fun time. So story-wise, the game, I prefer Alan Wake's story, but that's because there's I like the mystery. There's a mystery angle to this game, but I'd say I prefer the mystery angle to Alan Wake. That, and it's got that horror vibe to it, and me being a horror fan, that story just screams to me, wow. And I had a lot of fun with that one, as just like this story-driven, not much in the sense of over-the-top combat, more of very basic, light, bang. Whereas this one, it's more of throw shit, bang, bang, bang. It's a lot more, I'd say it's a lot more fast-paced than the Alan Wake games. It's got the fast-paced vibe of Quantum Break, so it's kind of Alan Wake and Quantum Break combined. Because as I said, there is some mystery and horror in the story, which is very Alan Wake, and it's also got this superpower shooter action vibe of Quantum Break, so it kind of mashes them into one, and I'm okay with that. As I say, it leads to a really good fun time. Your main character's intriguing because she's got a lot of mystery about it, and obviously there's this weird entity that's sort of attached to her that helps her out. That's very mysterious, and as the game goes along, you learn a lot more about this character and her backstory, and I say this entity, and why she's like now the head of this bureau for control. And so obviously there's also, unlike Alan Wake, which is pretty much the only exploration you really got was trying to find like manuscripts and like TVs and radios lying around. That was it really. Whereas there's a lot more exploration because it's a bigger map than any of their previous games. It's a lot bigger to traverse, and when you obviously get your flying abilities, it's a lot easier. When you unlock the fast travel points, it's a lot easier to get around. And there's a lot of stuff to find around. There's notes to find around. There's loads of collectibles, from just notes to audio. So there's some music you can find, which is pretty cool. To videos. There's some else as well, like case files. There's a few different collectibles you can find in this game, which is pretty cool. Obviously, you can also upgrade your gun, so you can change its form. So you basically stick with a pistol throughout, but you can upgrade the pistol to allow you to turn it into like kind of a little mini machine gun. But it still stays like a pistol. It just like alters like, I think the machine gun, the barrel kind of sticks out a bit more. You got like a sniper type one, which is kind of like a crossbow. You can essentially make it into like a grenade launcher. There's a few forms, I can't remember them all off the top of my head. I think it's about 4 or 5 different forms you can make this pistol. Plus, then you've also got your mods you can attach to it to give you stronger damage, use less energy when shooting. Same goes for you as a character. You can add mods to your character. So there's a lot more customization with this in terms of loadout, customizing the loadout in depth, and also customizing your character. Whereas Alan Wake and Quantum Break didn't really have that. Quantum Break's main customization was picking up different weapons. Same with Alan Wake, that was it really. Whereas this there's more stuff to the customization of your loadout and your character itself, which I like. And then on top of that, you've also got customization in terms of outfits. So you can unlock outfits in the game. I'm pretty much stuck with the main outfit throughout because the main outfit's probably my favourite outfit they've got. And yeah, there's a lot to like about this game. And obviously, I actually got a platinum trophy on this, playing it on PlayStation. So it's one of my I would say few platinum trophies because there's only certain games that I'll look at and go, those achievements are for me either achievable or I've enjoyed this game enough to go, okay, I'm gonna smash through this with precision to get this platinum. And that's what I did with this. I just smashed through it. It's very much towards the end. It kind of got very grinding to try and get the last few achievements, which kind of were a pain in the ass. But this is a very achievable game for achievements. Even the DLCs, I don't think I'm gonna get all the achievements on those ones because, as I said, there's no platinum to get for them. It's just you can say, yeah, I got all of them. But I'm kind of enjoying the fact that I was left them on 69% each. So I think I'm just gonna leave them on both of that. But I say even then, they've got very achievable achievements. The only problem is the pain in the arse ones is with those you gotta try and find like 80% or all of the collectibles in the game. And I know on PC you can sort of see how many you've got a lot easier, whereas on PlayStation you can't. You have to kind of count what you've got. And I tried to do it the day after I finished everything on this game, including DLC. But I after about 20-30 minutes just running around, I just kind of had enough, and I was like, is this really worth me sitting down and trying to get these last few achievements on the DLCs, not the main game? I've done what I want to do, which is finish the game, finish the DLCs, get platinum. That's what I want to do. The achievements for the DLCs for me was just secondary, and I pretty much left them both with just so many, about 4 each, I think. So I need like about 8 to 100% everything, but I don't think I'm gonna bother sit down and get them now because, as I say, when I tried to do it the other day, I just kind of got bored with just because I know that's it. I'm pretty much done. I can just jump into Alan Wake 2 now and get it over with because I really want to play that game. So it's just a case of I just can't be asked to sit down and try and capture these remaining DLCs. I mean, achievements on the DLCs. I say the story's interesting with this. There's just like most Remedy games, there's so many chapters. Unlike Quantum Break and Alan Wake, it's less episodic. It's more just once you finish a chapter, you can get straight to your next one. There's no previously on a control like situation. It pretty much just flows straight to the next one. There's a lot of side missions that you can do, so there's a lot more than just your main narrative. And the main narrative is about 10 chapters for the base game. And then there's a load of little side missions for kind of each character you meet. And then if you stumble across some stuff, you might get a side mission based on that. Then on top of that, you also have bureau alerts. So there's random missions that pop up every now and again. You've also got, when you go to the portal to customize your shit and teleport, there's also these little missions. You can select 3 at a time. And when you do, you obviously just get XP and shit for doing that. Yeah, I think you usually get like stuff to do with your guns for those, and like the mods to add to them. So there is obviously those as well. So there's fucking loads of missions compared to, say, Quantum Break and Alan Wake. So a lot more missions in this game to keep you invested. I think, according to my playthrough, including DLCs, I put in almost 30 hours on this game. If you minus off, say, 2 hours, I think maybe about 25, 26 hours across the main game, the DLCs. That's including platinum in the main game, getting most of the achievements on the DLCs. So it is worth the time, and it is a game that you can get a lot of hours out of. And on top of that, if you want to replay it, this game doesn't have difficulty levels, so there's not like a easy, medium, hard, legendary shit like that. This doesn't have that, like how Alan Wake had presented that easy, medium, and hard. And I'm pretty certain Quantum Break did it, so it doesn't have them levels. Instead, you can kind of customize your settings, which basically you can customize it so you can, I think it's called assisted mode. Basically, you can customize it so you can get a better, pretty much lock on aim instantly with your gun, pretty much so you don't lose a lot of energy constantly. You can also do it so you're kind of immortal. The only damage you can take is full damage. When I was kind of achievement grinding, when I was pretty much done, I used these settings to try and get through it a lot quicker. And you can have a lot of fun with that. As I say, you pretty much get hit, that's it, you're fine. But you're basically a god. I think it's pretty soon it's literally like called god mode. So the only damage you take is if you fall from a height. There's full damage, which was weird. Let's say the fact that it's invulnerable, it's weird that you take full damage, but I'm guessing it only counts towards damage you take from enemies. So that's interesting. And then you've also got like one hit kill. So as I say, there's some achievements where you've kind of got to kill so many enemies. One hit kill is very useful just to speed through that real quick, so you can just basically bang, 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 done. Especially when you're utilising the telekinesis on top of the guns, so you pretty much just throwing shit, bang, throwing shit, bang. It's a lot quicker to get through achievements. And I say it adds that fun replayability factor where you can just basically make yourself a god and just blast through this bureau with fucking ease. And as I say, the story's pretty decent. When the mystery starts unraveling about her and her brother and what this control bureau is all about, it's pretty intriguing. And then on top of that, the DLCs add the extra stories to it. So you got the Foundation DLC, which is my second favourite DLC. I prefer the Alan Wake one, which I'll get to in a minute, where basically you go to a new floor and you kind of learn more about a character you've met in the main game because something's happened to her, and you kind of have to deal with this situation where there's like a pyramid underground and shit like that. There's a lot of weird shit in this game, and you're going to have to deal with that. And basically, it wraps up a lot of the story for yourself and this other character. So it is pretty fun. It wasn't my favourite of the DLCs, but it was a pretty decent DLC, and I'd say it adds a lot more hours to your gameplay. I think it adds a couple of hours. And then you got the Alan Wake DLC, which is referred to as an altered world event. That's a big part of this game, is that the Control Bureau deals with these altered world events where something's happened or something's entered this world and they've gone to basically fucking stop it, which is a part of the main story where the character you're playing as Jessie and her brother basically activate this projector which caused stuff to come into our world. Obviously they managed to stop it, but the Bureau went there and took her brother away, which is why she's now at the Bureau trying to deal with it. So DLC deals with the idea that the Alan Wake story is an altered world event. So it's happened on this world, but what's going down is to do with these altered worlds. And it's pretty cool because this game's got a lot of really cool cinematics where it's kind of like a projector. So you kind of walk forward and it projects the image of a person talking or a silhouette of someone, and it over the scene in front of you as you're walking. And I think that's pretty fucking cool. And this one, when obviously you start this DLC, you kind of walk through an elevator because like, I'll go to this elevator, they hear a noise or something, and you can see Alan typing, and there's a whole cutscene to do with him, and you kind of go into this again extra level of the Bureau because there's so many fucking different sections, each one dedicated to different things like mail, to fucking researching to expedition, shit like that. Basically, each level section is to do with a different department, and this takes you to another department. I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head. I think it's not research. I don't think. I can't remember. It's been about a week since I actually finished this game, so I can't remember exactly which department it was. And so you go down there, and you dealing with, there's someone talking to you, and you kind of run into this fucking monster in the dark, and you kind of have to do like an Alan Wake situation, which is use the light to defeat the darkness. But of course, you got to get powers involved here. And when you activate it, this monster runs off in different directions, and this guy's like, okay, you need to go into these different departments to take out this monster, basically. And you kind of go through each section, slowly causing it to go further into the section. And each time you, again, using lights through generators, usually having to kind of rush from point to point as quick as you can from light straight for the dark into the next bit of light to try and not get hit by this monster. And then it usually leads to like a big sort of boss battle with it. And once you finish that one, you kind of then go to the next one. And again, you're doing the exact same thing. You lighten up the area through your generators. And then once you've done that, it unlocks the third area, which is the Bright Falls area, where you go in and there's like a little actually Bright Falls area, which is pretty cool. And you got to deal with this monster one last time. And so each time you're doing this, you kind of get more narrative from Alan when you're finding some stuff to eventually, obviously, with this monster done, you kind of learn that Alan Wake 2 is happening. Obviously, before it actually got officially confirmed to happen, since they talk about there's an incident happening, not now, but in the future. They're already it's already obviously notifying that it's going to happen, and they're like, okay, there's certain someone's like in charge of basically that section. Like the character who apparently is in Alan Wake 2, so it does a really good job of, you don't need to play it, but it's a nice little game to play while you kind of wait for Alan Wake 2 to come out, because if you play the Alan Wake DLC, it does tease Alan Wake 2, while also still having that Alan Wake feel with the light defeating darkness. So there's a lot of really cool stuff. As I say, if you like Alan Wake, that DLC is really fucking good. And obviously for this review, I'm going to review the Ultimate Edition overall, since pretty much if you buy the DLCs, is essentially basically that's what the Ultimate Edition is. It's the base game and the DLCs. So I'm just going to kind of just cram it into one big rating, and that covers all of it. And so the DLCs, the Alan Wake one's the best because it adds so much. And it's nice seeing Alan again and learning some more story related to him, even if it's not necessarily needed. But it's just a nice return to the defeating darkness with light situation. And yeah, so there's a lot to like about Control. There's a lot to like about its DLCs, and there's just a lot to like about this game in general. It's got a lot of really cool replayability factors. Remedy just fucking knocked it out the park with this, and I think Connor told me literally earlier that apparently they've confirmed that a sequel's going to happen. I'm just like, okay, I'm wondering how that's going to carry on from this game. So I'm guessing it's going to be about them still probably purging the Bureau of the Hiss. That's what the evilness in this place is called. It's called the Hiss. And it kind of just takes over bodies and makes them its host. And it can alter certain bodies to make them more monstrous and more horrific. But yeah, it's a good game. If you haven't checked it out, I do recommend checking it out. It's a decent action game, and pretty certain you can get it quite cheap a lot of the times. I mean, Connor pretty much bought his copy for less than £10. That was the Ultimate Edition. And I'm pretty certain if you might have got it off Epic for free, because Epic at one point had it for free, because I've got it on there. I just don't have the DLCs for it. I just had it on. I just looked at the price on PlayStation. I was like, I got the PS4 version. I could always just rebuy the whole game, but then I might as well buy the season pass, and it's technically cheaper, because I think the season pass cost me less than £5, I think it was. Which for me, I go fuck it. I know the Ultimate Edition upscales it to say 4K, but I'm okay with just sticking with the PlayStation version, the old PS4 version, says rebuying the fucking game for the 5th time. I did that way too much. So yeah, I think Remedy definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. It's definitely a good game. I'm trying to think. I swear I had some issues with it. Maybe it was just the difficulty, for the fact there's no difficulty level. I kind of didn't like that aspect to it, and that obviously caused me to start messing with the assisted mode just to speed up, say, not DLCs, like the achievement hunting. I swear there's something else that kind of bugged me with this game. I can't fucking remember it off the top of my head. My mind's just gone blank. It's too early in the morning for me. It's my bedtime right now, so my mind's just gone. I just can't think of what the issue was. I definitely fucking saw an issue and I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. I know one of the things I did like as well, because the guy who voices Alan, not the guy who actually portrays the physical Alan, the guy who voices him, he plays like a doctor character in this game. And he's quite funny because he's the sort of collectibles when you kind of go into certain rooms and there's a projector or you click a TV, you kind of watch like him explaining certain things about altered world events and certain stuff. He basically explains like quite a few things. And there's this one bit, because there's something called traversing the motel, where it's like a puzzle. You ding a bell, and you kind of go into a room, and you do something, you ding the bell again, you kind of do it in all three, and you usually get a key at the end to unlock. Usually it's a door with a triangle on it, but there's one bit where you unlock a janitor's closet, and you're basically at one point going to a room and it's projecting like him, and he's got he does a whole fucking song, and you can actually rewatch that multiple times. You can go into your inventory and click on it, and it's just like, what the fuck? It's called Dynamite, the song is, and it's fucking hilarious. But I love the music in this, because you got All Gods of Asgard are back for a song in the last act, which is probably one of the best acts in this. You put some headphones on and you're fucking just going around shooting shit at the walls are moving, and the song controls playing, it's fucking banging. And there's another song by, I can't remember what band it's called, that if you just go into this secret room, you can basically listen to this whole song. And again, you unlock it then. I do like the music in this game. It's very good, and it adds a lot more to this the action a lot of times, especially as I say with that control song. It adds a lot of more head banging as you're fucking just blasting through everything. I swear there was something that pissed me off with this game that I wanted to point out that annoyed me, but I guess my mind just completely forgot it. It can't have been that important. If obviously, more than likely, what will happen is I'll fucking finish recording, and then I'll go, fuck, that was it. I fucking completely forgot it. Shit. I just have to accept that. No, there was something, and it just slipped my mind. Okay, and so if I go to ratings of this game, I'm actually going to give this, I'm trying to remember what I gave Alan Wake. I think I give it 8.8 or something like that. I'm going to give this an 8.7 for now. It's good. I swear there was something that pissed me off with this game that weighed me up enough to drop some ratings off it. But as I say, for now, I'm giving it an 8.7. It's a good action game. It's got an interesting, not necessarily interesting, but intriguing is the word I was after. The story. I said the combat's pretty good. I like the flying around aspect. That was very enjoyable. I just wish there was a way you could, basically in the cheat settings, I wish there was a way, especially when you're doing your replays, I wish there was a way you can make it unlimited, because you kind of can't. That was it. I think it might have been the case, the fact that I couldn't see half the times. There's some times I fucked with the brightness. My brightness was pretty decent, but sometimes you just couldn't see. There's some rooms that were so dark that it was obviously the idea is you need to use a light to guide your way through certain areas, but sometimes if you accidentally throw your light, you're fucked. You can't see shit. I literally did this one bit in the DLC, the Foundation DLC, and I couldn't see anything. And there's I think no, it was Quantum Break that had the issue with when you put the brightness too high, it just blinds you. It's more that there's some dark areas in this, and I think there's some other lighting issues that I had that are just a bit of a pain. And there's one mission where you kind of go into this place and you kind of got to defeat this boss, but at the same time you got to defeat there's loads of little minions that keep attacking. And they all shoot grenades and shit at you. You kind of got to watch them while also watching the boss that's throwing shit at you. And the problem is the room is just fucking red, and it's so difficult to track motion as it's happening. You're like, what the fuck? My eyes aren't tracking what the fuck's going on. I had to run that mission so many times, it kept winding me up. And now in the Alan Wake DLC, the big boss battle at the end, obviously you kind of have to, you turn the light on to do damage to him to be able to shoot the creature, and it's obviously got 2 health bars, which, okay, fair enough, it's a big boss battle, it needs 2 health bars. But when you kind of dwindle down the last one, obviously every time he turns the light off, so you basically have to come and put the lights back on. Every time they go off, the health slightly goes back up, ever so slightly. And there's just one bit where towards the end, I was pretty much about 3 or 4 hits and he would have been dead. And he basically turned the lights off. Okay, I went, put it back in, go back to doing it. And within like 2 hits, he turned the lights off again. I was like, how the fuck am I meant to do this when he keeps turning the lights off? Because you've got to rush around the map, put the fucking generators back on, to then rush back to him to blow him away. So I think there's a few little gameplay issues I found. As I said, the lighting is probably my biggest main issue I found. I know I'd remember it eventually. But other than that, it is still a solid game, and like an 8.7, I think it's pretty fucking reasonable. And so I'm very much interested to see what they're going to do in a sequel. I'm wondering how it's going to carry on from exactly. And I would like, it'd be pretty cool if they do actually acknowledge Alan Wake 2 in that as well. Which obviously is a game I'm going to be hopefully moving on to. Within the next month, I'm hoping to sit down and just bash through it, or at least start playing it and maybe do a chapter like I did with the first game. I'd maybe do a chapter, then take a step away, and then keep coming back to it. I'm just very much looking forward to actually finally getting around to playing this game. And I say, when I've actually finished the game, I'll do the same as I've done with this. I've done with the Alan Wake Remastered. I've done with the American Nightmare. I'll sit down and actually give a review on it. It'd probably be more in the line of this and the Alan Wake Remaster game, where I'll do an entire video just dedicated to this, because obviously the American Nightmare, I couldn't really get a full video out of that, which is why I mashed up a few other reviews in there. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything about this game that I wanted to talk about heavily. If there's something I missed, I apologise, and I'll probably kick myself later going, I wanted to say that as well. Oh, I missed saying that. But that's life. You always fucking forget something when you really want to talk about it. It just always happens. So yeah, obviously, when I finish Alan Wake 2, I'll sit down and review that. I'm going to hopefully, it won't be next week, it might be the week after. I'm going to try and get Connor back next week. So I want to do like a quiz I've set up again. I've got like a guessing quiz called Guess the Mockbuster. So the idea is literally just, I'm going to give him the titles of mockbusters, and he's just going to have to guess what the actual movie it's taking the piss out of is. I've been wanting to do that for a couple of weeks. I've had it set up for a while. I just haven't had the chance to sit down with him and talk about it, which is why we haven't really streamed. I haven't really had the time to do it. So I kind of set up a bit of time between 1 and 4, because the last couple of Sundays I've been watching the football, which is on after 4 o'clock. And I've been setting that time up between 1 and 4, but I just never get the chance to actually sit down and do it, because I'm usually end up, obviously, I played Control recently, I played Quantum Break recently, I sat through both, and by the point I've finished playing these, it's what time? I'm like, oh, fuck, I've just wasted my entire fucking afternoon. So I'm hoping, if not this Sunday, then March, I'm gonna hopefully try and start streaming again with Connor on Sundays. I know it's definitely not this Sunday, because the Demon Slayer Hashira training arc is out in cinema, and I know I'm going to watch that this Sunday, so that is definitely not this Sunday, but hopefully maybe the Sunday, if not the Sunday after, then as I say, March is my aim to start streaming again. If not, it will be try and do some solo streams to at least have some basic content, some live stream content going out, because that is pretty. I don't mind streaming. If I can find the right game to stream, I don't mind streaming. But obviously, as I say, I want to try and sit down and do this guessing game with Connor. I say hopefully next week. If not, I'm going to try and do something solo then, or might get Alex, because I know he's free Monday. So we'll. If not Connor, and if not a solo review, I'll get Alex to do something on the podcast. But the week after, I'm going to try and do a review on as the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection, because obviously I'm wrapping that up. Obviously, I finished it. The episodes are just finishing off going out. They should be out early March. Obviously, the last few episodes will be going out early March. So that would be before this review will possibly go out. So I'm pretty certain it's 2 weeks, and I'll be fine to be able to actually put this review out. If not, it'll be 3 weeks. But I say early March, I'll be doing a review on the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection, but I'll also be talking about the 2007 Assassin's Creed game, because I want to do like I've done with these. I want to review them after I've played them. Obviously, I know it's been a while since I played the Assassin's Creed 2007 game, so it'd be a belated review on that. But it'd be more of like a discussion on that and the story from that to the end of Revelation, since there's a massive connection. And as I say, once I've done the other Assassin's Creed games, I'll sit down and talk about them as well as I'm going along. So there'll be an actual overall after my gameplay on them. So as I say, my plan coming up is the Guess the Mockbuster with Connor. If not, I'll do another review or try and get Alex on. And then as I say, I've got the Assassin's Creed review hopefully coming out in the next couple of weeks. But as I say, if you play Control, put your thoughts in the comments below. If obviously you're on YouTube, you can put the thoughts here. And just let me know what you think of the game. And what you're hoping for the second game to dish out. If it is actually happening, I hope Connor's not just bullshit to me, which is a possibility. It's Connor. So yeah, obviously you can check out the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Audible, Amazon Music, majority of podcasting platforms. It will be on there. And yeah, obviously, if you like this video / podcast, give us a like, subscribe, check out our other podcast. I'll link in the Alan Wake Remaster. I'll link in the Alan Wake American Nightmare reviews. I'll put them in the links below. And yeah, that is it. I hope you've enjoyed this rambling about Control, and I shall hope to see you next time. Goodbye. If you like what you've seen, don't be afraid to throw us a little like and subscribe. That's always very appreciated over here. And, well, I'll see you on the next video.